Hi everybody, my name is Al Gattullo. This is the inaugural edition of the Al Gattullo podcast, video cast, beer cast. We've got, I'm not really sure what to call it. Basically, this podcast, video cast, is going to be about craft beer. Now, somebody asked me the other day, what is craft beer? It's simple and yet it's a little bit complicated, but I'll give you the simplest of terms about craft beer in just a second. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what each of these video vignettes are going to be about. Obviously, it's going to be about beer. It's going to be about how to get you into craft beer. I know the majority of you who drink beer, Budweiser, Bud Light, Coors Light, Michelob Ultra, Heineken, decent beers if you're 18 years old and learning how to drink for the first time, okay? I'm talking about a sophisticated palate. I'm talking about different beers that you can pair up with different meals, with snacks, with all kinds of different things. But most of all, craft beer is so much better. It's made better, fresher ingredients, the water is better, so many different things. All right, let's get into it real quick. Craft beer, what is craft beer? Craft beer is three things: small, independent, traditional. Small, an annual production of 6 million barrels or less from a company. It varies. Some are 6 million, some is 2 million. But let's just say anywhere between 6 and 2 million barrels. That's your annual production. Small. It's a small brewer. Independent. Less than 25% of the craft brewery is owned by a big beer maker. And traditional. Down-to-earth ingredients and fermentation. It's all about the hops. It's all about the barley. It's all about the water. It's all about the different ingredients that are put in. Blueberry ale is very popular. Fresh blueberries. Things of that nature. That's craft beer. Okay? So hopefully that little crash course will get you into, craft beer and what it's all about. It's not, and yes, I understand the beer we're going to use today is owned by the people who own Budweiser, but they own a percentage of it. They don't own the whole company, as far as I know. Okay, so the beer that we are going to do today, and we're going to first try here, is Blue Point's Toasted Lager. This is Toasted Lager. I'm going to get a little up close here. Forgive me, folks. I come from a radio background, so TV is not really my specialty here. This is Long Island beer, Toasted Lager from Blue Point Brewery. Now, Blue Point Brewery, established in 1998, two guys, Mark and Pete, they tapped their first keg in a parking lot. Okay, very cool. One of the first beers that I got into in craft beer, and I've tried, hundreds, if not at this point, 1,000 different craft beers, and I have the belly to show for it as well. Okay, so these guys, I got into Blue Point beer, met up with one of the sales reps, Shane, who turned me on to so many other different things from Blue Point. And from there, my palate expanded into different beers. Now, and I'll give you the address to Blue Point. They do brewery tours, and you can fill up growlers and all that other stuff, as well as their website. Now, I'm going to take my handy-dandy Blue Point, let me turn that around, Blue Point bottle opener. I'm going to crack the beer. Now, forgive me, folks. This is not technically sound. I don't have 16 cameras here. Okay, I got a glass. I got the beer. We're going to tilt the glass slightly. We're going to pour that liquid gold in the glass. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Now you're talking, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Now that is a pretty decent pour. This is Blue Point's Toasted Lager. It's a great beer, and really, if you want to get into craft beer, it's a great introductory beer to get started with. So I'm going to take my first sip, and then I'm going to tell you in simple terms about the beer. Oh, man. Let me tell you. This Blue Point Toasted Lager, what does it taste like? Well, most of you have had Budweiser, right? It's not a Bud. Similar to a Budweiser in terms of a little bit of color, but really a little bit more, a little bit darker here. But Toasted Lager it's light, it's crisp, it's airy. It has a little bit, it's very light. Not too much carbonation. It doesn't overwhelm you. This would be a perfect beer if you're having a cheeseburger, maybe some wings. Not too spicy wings. I would go with a different beer for that. I'd probably go, if you're going to go with spicy wings, I'd go with an IPA, which is an India Pale Ale. A little bit more bitter, and the bite of the India Pale Ale would be better with spicy wings. But this The toasted lager is a perfect beer if you're having a hamburger, cheeseburger, bacon cheeseburger maybe, maybe some, not so spicy wings, nachos would be a good choice. It just has a really nice, light, and crisp taste. You'd love it, okay? It's really the way to start you into craft beer. And, look, craft beer has exploded in the United States. It's a big business now. Lots of places are selling craft beers. Not just your typical bodegas, but you've got liquor stores all over that are selling craft beer. And you really need to know which ones to buy. Now, there's fruity craft beers. There are, the big one now that everybody's turned on to is Not Your Father's Root Beer, which really tastes pretty much like a root beer. But if you really want to get started into drinking craft beers, my suggestion would be Blue Point's Toasted Lager. It's perfect if you've been drinking Bud Light, for all these years. This is a perfect way to get your entry into craft beer. It's delicious. It's light. It does not have too much of an aftertaste. Some beers do have an aftertaste, but honestly, in all, what a fantastic. Mm. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. That is really good. I mean, honestly, it's really good. You guys from Blue Point Brewing, knock it out of the park. They've got some great stuff and some not so good stuff. I'll be honest, folks. This is a podcast where I'm going to tell you about different beers, maybe trying them for the first time on here, maybe not, but I'm going to tell you what I like and what I don't like. Not every single beer that I'm going to try is one that I'm going to like. I know, as we go in the coming weeks, we'll try some different stouts since it's getting a little colder here on the East Coast. We're going to try some Oktoberfest stuff. We're going to try some India Pale Ales. There's going to be lots of different things here. Now, Blue Point, you want to go check them out. They're located at 161 River Avenue in Patchogue, New York, out on Long Island. 11772 is the zip code. I don't know why you would need the zip code, but if you want their email address to check out their website, it's bluepointbrewing.com. That's bluepointbrewing.com. You see, we're very high tech here with the Al Gattullo Beer Cast. Now, some names for this podcast, beer cast, whatever you want to call it, as we wrap this up here. These things are going to be about 5 minutes or less. I know it's a little long today, but it's the introductory one, and it's my show. I can have it as long or as short as I want, okay? So I'm trying to come up with a name for the podcast, for the video cast, and I want your help as well, okay? So what you can do is you follow me on Twitter, okay? Twitter, at Al Gattullo. That's ALGATTULLO. I'm going to show that to you again. Twitter, at Al Gattullo, okay? You follow me there. And you give me a suggestion for a name for this video cast. So a couple of names have been thrown out there. I'm going to throw them out to you. Maybe you like one, maybe you don't. Beer and Bacon, The Suds Report, A Pint of Gattullo. I like that one. My buddy Anthony Pound came up with that one. That's a good one. I like that. A Pint of Gattullo. Al's Ale Cast. Not bad. Suds and Duds. That's from my friend Libby Herman. Very good. I like that one. Suds and Duds. Drinking with Lincoln. I don't know. Good Head with Al. My friend Christine came up with that one. Good Head with Al. That's cute. A little risque. At least I think so. But, not too bad. So those are a couple of names. I'd love to get your suggestions as well. Follow me on Twitter, at Al Gattullo. That's at Al Gattullo. And if you're already a friend of mine on Facebook, great. You can send me a message there or post it on my wall. And I'm going to sit back, enjoy the rest of this Blue Point Toasted Lager. I'm telling you, you got to try it. It's good stuff. If you like craft beer, you want to get into craft beer, this is definitely the one for you. Oh. Oh, delicious, delicious. Thanks for watching. Please send me your feedback at Al Gattullo at Twitter. I'm going to show that to you one more time. At Al Gattullo at Twitter, or you can simply comment on the YouTube page, Gattullo, Gattullo, where this video will be displayed. Thanks very much. Take care, everybody. See you next week.